As summertime water temperatures warm, Midwestern walleye anglers find themselves at a tactical crossroads, caught between traditional early-season presentations like Lindy Rigs and summertime classics such as spinners and crankbaits. Up next, Jon shows us how to crack the transitional code with a revolutionary hybrid rigging system that offers enterprising anglers the best of all worlds.
There he is. I think that guy pretty much had himself hooked up. I was watching another boat take off over there. I turned back and this feels like a real good fish. I'm gonna slow the boat down just a hair here. This is one of the neatest new lures that I'm fishing today, and it's been out for a couple years. But I'm going to show you something here once we get this walleye in here. Oh, look at that. Wow, what a great fish. That's a great walleye right there. Let me get this guy unhooked. We'll get him back in the water. And then I want to show you, there we go, simple as that. Then I want to show you what this is, because I think this is just one of the neatest lures that's come along in years. And now we have a new size. Look at that fish. I mean, he just came up and snapped that thing. He had himself hooked. All I had to do was grab that rod out of the rod holder and reel him in. Man, that's awesome right there. Let's get this guy back. Get out of here, buddy. There he goes. Let me show you this bait, because this thing, as far as I'm concerned, has been one of the best summertime baits that's come along in years. It's called Lindy Lil Guy. But here's the thing. Look at the size of this one. This is a brand new size. It's a small size. We deliberately built this because it makes it even more like a spinner. You can work it even slower. This is the absolute perfect size because this thing runs along and it acts like a crankbait. It's got that little bit of wiggle and it's a floating body. So when I stop it, it's actually gonna float up. Then we've got some small little beads on there and they're all color coordinated to match the color of the body. And then we've got a crawler harness. So here's the thing. Now you got the best of both worlds. You got a crawler harness with a crankbait action. So you don't have to go all the way over to the end of the spectrum in a big crankbait or all the way back to a Lindy Rig. You've actually got something that's gonna fall in between all of that, put that action down there and do exactly what you need to do to trigger fish when they're on that in between. And you can see how that fish hit it. I mean, he just grabbed it, tore it down, and hooked himself. I mean, there was nothing I had to do. All you got to do is put a crawler on this thing, troll it around about the same speed that you're messing around with spinners. Okay, now I'm going somewhere today between 0.7 and 1.0, and these fish are just attacking it. It's just a lot of fun. But here's what's really cool. That new size is going to catch fish anywhere. Now, the big size did too, but I'll tell you what, no matter where you fish, you're going to be able to catch them with this new small size. And when you look at that, I mean, it's just, I want to eat it. That's just cool. A lot of fish in here. We just gotta, there's one. Hit it right when I stopped there. Look at that. Boy, I just let this back down. I reeled it up because I thought I had a perch there. So I reeled it up to check it. One of the neat things about a bait like this too is because it floats. When I stopped it there, that fish, I suppose he saw it coming down, but when I stopped it, it doesn't fall into the bottom like a spinner. It actually floats up because that body floats. And this fish, boy, this is a good one too. If this is a walleye, it's a real good fish. Let's try to keep him out from under the boat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that one. Wow. Look at that. That's a big fish right there. Look at that. Wow, that fish was so cool because of how he did that. I mean, I just let that back down. And look at that. That walleye come railing up and he hit that thing. But like I was saying, what most likely happens there, and we got him right in the snout. I mean, he just grabbed it, ate up on that crawler. But what he probably did is he saw that thing come down. And as that thing's coming down, man, all of a sudden it just starts floating when I stopped it there to find the exact spot on the bottom. And he ends up grabbing it. Man, that is just awesome. I'm gonna let this guy go, and then let me explain to you a little bit about the location I'm fishing today. Because you can fish these things anywhere, but I'll tell you what, the location I'm fishing today, they're just deadly. Let's get this guy back in. There he goes. The location I'm fishing, this is just prototypical for midsummer. What's happened is these fish have slid off that first round of shoreline breaks and they're on the mid-lake stuff now. Here's what's really cool about it too. You can see them. I'm fishing anywhere between 18 and 22 feet today, right off of some structure that comes up a little bit shallower over here. And those fish are all along the edges and they're all kind of scattered out. But here's what's really cool. I'm not seeing just a huge pile of fish that are all together that I could just sit and Lindy rig on and stay there. What I'm seeing is a fish here, a fish there, and a bait like this, I'm moving at a mile an hour. So I'm able to actually cover ground all along these breaks, and I'm doing a big circle and working my way around here, because what I'm finding is that when I see a fish, I can catch them, but I need to see them. So this is the kind of bait and technique that's gonna allow me to keep moving, and if I can keep moving, I'm gonna keep catching. Let me show you how I hooked this crawler on here, because it is actually pretty important. All I do is I go right through the tip of that nose. I don't want too much crawler up in front of that hook, because if you do that, here's what happens. All of a sudden that crawler wants to spin a little bit and it's gonna take that action off of that little guy body. Then what I do though, I think this might be the most important part, is instead of hooking that, stretching this line out and hooking that crawler all the way back here, what I'm doing is actually making it so the line has some slack in it. And then I thread this on so that it turns, and you can see what I got right here. Now that hook will lay that way, but with that extra line in between, now what's gonna happen is that crawler can pull straight. If I went too far back here and that crawler scrunches up, what happens is he starts twirling. So that's how you wanna hook that right there. Now here's the other thing. Today these fish are biting so aggressively that I'm leaving that whole crawler on there. But if you're in a situation where all of a sudden those fish are coming up and they're just short biting you and you're bringing in that much crawler, just pinch that thing off, because what you gotta understand is the body on this bait is creating so much action that these fish are gonna come in and whack it. So you don't have to worry about not having a full crawler down there. You'll be just fine. You'll still be able to catch them. There he is. Got him. Oh yeah. Just another one of the same walleyes we've been getting all day. You can just feel it. He's just digging down there. It's so neat when you get bites going on aggressive baits, because fish like this, they'll do you favors. I mean, these fish have hooked themselves for me pretty much all day. Look at that. Another great eye. And it's just been one after another. I mean, the bottom line is they're just willing to eat it. And I think there's certain things that I've fished with over the years that I can say, boy, they really liked that, you know. And we all have favorite baits. I'll tell you quickly, these little guys have become one of my favorite baits, not just because the fact they're different and these fish aren't so conditioned to seeing the same thing over and over, but also because all said and done, they're just the best of both worlds. And fish like that right there, he's all for eating a spinner at a certain time of the year, and he's all for eating a crankbait at a certain time of the year. But this fish right here, he's not gonna eat both at the same time, or very seldom do they do. You know, he might a little later in the summer, but this bait has proven to be one of those baits that spans the whole summer and just catches fish like that one after another. That's a great way to wrap it up. But hey, pick up some of these little guys, get out here and pull these things around. I'll tell you what, you're gonna catch a lot of fish. It's a lot of fun. They hit it aggressively, and you know what? You can fill the live well pretty fast, or you can just catch them for fun like we were all day today.